everyone. For today, you can turn to your math journal page 176. And on page 176, we're going to start by looking at the diagram up at the top for number 1. This diagram shows one way to represent 2/3 times 2/3. Notice that there's 3 sections going down and 3 sections going across. What are the dimensions of the large square? So we're going to take a look at the dimensions of this large square. And so this is 1 unit by 1 unit. What is the area of the large square? And so for this, the area is 1 square unit, just 1, like if we're looking at a dice or looking at something like a square picture, it's 1 square unit. What are the dimensions of the shaded rectangle? And so taking a look at this side, it's 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. So taking a look at this dimension, this is 2/3. And so we'll say that this is 2/3 by, and then this is 1/3, 1/3. And so this is 2/3 as well. So 2/3 by 2/3. What is the area of the shaded rectangle? So if we're going to take a look at this, it would be 1, 2, 3, 4 shaded. So we'll write 4 out of how many totals? This is 4, this would be 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So there'd be 9 total. So this would be 4/9 of the square unit. Write a multiplication sentence for this problem. So we're going to write 2/3 times 2/3. And the answer for this problem is 4/9. For number 2, label the blank tick marks on the number lines. Let's take a look at the tick marks. I think the tick marks are over here on the side. So part A, label the blank tick marks on this number line. So I'm going to see what this is divided by. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. And so these tick marks, if this is 0, this would be 1/4. And this would be 2/4. This would be 3/4. And then the 1 would be 4/4. And so if we're looking at the bottom, this would be fourths again. So from 0, 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, and then this would be 4/4. So press pause and do that on your math journal. Part B, what are the dimensions of the shaded rectangle? So we're going to take a look at the shaded rectangle. It looks like there's 3/4 here. So I'll write 3/4, 1, 2, 3, by 1/4 down here. So 3/4 times 1/4. C, what is the area of the shaded rectangle? Hint, the area of the big square is 1. So if we're taking a look at the shaded rectangle, we're looking at this section right here. And so if we're looking at that section, there's 3. So our answer is 3 out of how many total squares are there? So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 going down, and then 4 going across. So 4 times 4 equals 16 total squares. So our answer here, instead of question mark, would be 3 out of 16 squares total. Write a multiplication sentence for the area of the shaded rectangle. So for the shaded rectangle, we're going to take a look at 3/4 times 1/4. And the answer for that is 3/16. Now I want you to notice when we're multiplying, 3 times 1 is 3. 4 times 4 is 16. That's going to come in later for the shortcut multiplying fractions. Okay, let's take a look at number 3. Label the blank tick marks on the number lines. So we're going to label these 1, 2, 3, 4. So again, this is a fourth, 2/4, 3/4. And again, at the bottom, we have 1, 2, 3. So this is going to be 1/3, 2/3, and this is 3/3. What are the dimensions of the shaded rectangle? Looks like it's 2/3 times 2/4. So we're going to write 2/3 times 2/4. What is the area of the shaded rectangle? Hint, the area of the big square is 1. So we're going to be counting how many squares are in here. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. So our answer is 4 out of how many total squares we have. 1, 2, 3 going across, and 1, 2, 3, 4 going down. So 3 times 4 is 12. So there's 12 total. So our answer is 4/12 square unit. Write a multiplication sentence for the shaded area is 2/3 times 2/4 equals 4/12. Now notice here, this is going to be our shortcut for multiplication. 2 times 2 is 4. 3 times 4 is 12. We're going to get to that tomorrow. Okay, go to the next page now. And we're going to be shading. Follow these steps. So number 1, and this is on page 177. It says, follow these steps using the diagram at the right to help you multiply 3/4 times 2/6. So let's see, if we're going down this way, it looks like there's 6. If we go across this way, it looks like there's 4ths. A, label the blank tick marks on the horizontal number line. So I'd like you to press pause and do this on your own. Part B, label the blank tick marks on the vertical line. Okay, so we did this on the horizontal and the vertical line. So we're done with these two. Shade a rectangle that is, okay, so we're going to look up here, 3/4 by 2/6. 3/4 by 2/6. So we're going to start with our fourths. So if we're going to shade 3/4, we're going to shade in 1, 2, 3. Then we're going to shade in 2/6. So if we are shading in 2/6, it's going to look like 2/6 going across this way. Let's see if I can find a different color. So 2/6 would be 1, 2. So I'm going to shade this row and this row. Find the area of the shaded rectangle. So I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the answer is 6 out of how many total? We know that there are 4 going across the bottom and then 6 going across this way. So 4 times 6 is 24. So our answer is 6 out of 24. Fill in the blank to make this number sentence true. Let's try to do the shortcut. 3 times 2 is 6. 4 times 6 is 24. In problems 2, 3, label the tick marks, shade the rectangle with the given dimensions, and find your area. So let's start by labeling the tick marks. This is 0. And our dimension is 3/5 by 2/3. 1, 2, 3. This must be the 2/3. 3/5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So then the fifths will be here. So start by labeling 1/3, 2/3, 3/3. And so that will be for this. And then the 3/5. 1/5, 2/5, 3/5, 4/5, and 5/5. Let's start by, okay, so we labeled the tick marks. Next, shade a rectangle with the given dimensions. 3/5. Okay, so we'll start with the 3/5. So 1, 2, 3/5. So 3/5 will be like this. 1, 2, 3/5. And then we're going to shade in the 2/3. So 2/3 would look like this. 2/3 would be this area. So taking a look at the area that we just shaded in, we're going to look at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So our answer is 6 out of how many total? We have 1, 2, 3, and then 5 going across. And we have, so we're going to take 3 times 5 equals 15. So then that is going to be our denominator, 6 out of 15 total. Let's take a look at the shortcut. 3 times 2 equals 6, and 5 times 3 equals 15. That's our answer. I would like you to do number 3 on your own, and then take a picture of this page and send it to me. And so this page 177 and page 178.